He is known for brutality, madness, perversion, immorality, cruelty, and torture, and is remembered for his despotism. Caligula. He was born in Anzio in AD 12 and was killed by a group of guards in Rome in the 4th year of his reign in AD 41. Caligula was raised by psychopaths in evil places in his youth. He had the heads of everyone around him shaved so that no one could look down on him. Statues in the whole Roman Empire have been brought to Rome and their heads had been torn off and his own head had been mounted on them instead. He thought of himself as a god and was especially perverted. Caligula was very fond of all of his 3 sisters, Drusilla, Agrippina, and Livilla. But Drusilla was his favorite sister. He presented her in public like his wife. According to sources on the internet, apparently, in his adolescence, he had incest with all 3 of his sisters. One of these sisters even got pregnant. Afterwards, Caligula, with the thought that the unborn child could be a demigod, he chewed up the belly of Drusilla and allowed the fetus to be taken. After his sister died, Caligula declared a period of mourning. He forbade all his people to laugh, shower, eat with family and talk to each other on the street all summer long. But he also had nicknames such as the father of all Romans, the best religious leader, and of course he gave himself all the names. He let his own engineers develop new torture devices, so that all the bones of the victim's body are torn out before death and he himself just enjoyed watching, especially during mealtime. He was spending so much money on unnecessary things that the state soon ran out of money and he had a very simple method of refilling the bank. Just killing rich people and stealing their treasures. He once had a man killed whom he thought was rich, and then when he realized that the man wasn't very wealthy, he had a rather simple interpretation of the situation. Oh honey, the man died in vain. And not only that, the wives and daughters of the members of the Senate were put in a brothel for forced labor. And then he spoke to his people. Yo, people of Rome, see what gifts your God has brought you. You can do whatever you want with them for just a small fee. Caligula and members of the Senate were not good friends. Caligula only trusted his horse, wanted to make him senator, and even had a palace built for him. He even slept partially with his horse. Members of the Senate were bullied and badly treated by him, especially the fat ones. He found them particularly funny and they were the first victims for him. Sometimes he killed some senators for no reason and invited them to a meeting, as if they were still alive. And since they couldn't take part, he said, oh, probably suicide. The gladiator fights were very entertaining for him, but not the one with professional fighters. He just liked to see old, sick and injured people fighting. When there were not enough prisoners to fight with the lions in the arena, he randomly selected victims from the audience. And one of his main goals was not to be forgotten, because in the times of Augustus, Tiberius and others, there were some diseases, disasters, whatever they were fighting with, and therefore he prayed that such catastrophes would also happen in his time. And yes, we are talking about a god who prays. Once he wanted to kill someone, a general, Precus, but had no excuse because he was quite a proud and honest man. Caligula responded, "You are an honest man, Precus. That's why you can't be a real Roman. I'm arresting you for treason." Caligula used to make very bad jokes. He peed in the food of senators, he fed someone he killed to them, and after he said it, in case they puked, he laughed at them. His full name is Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, but his mother used to dress him up as a soldier when he was a little kid, and they called him Caligula, the little boot, because he walked around the army camps in soldier clothes at a young age. One of these days, after he took his horse and said to the Senate, "He is now your new consul," then he crossed the line. Incidentally, a consul is one of the two temporarily elected top officials of the Roman Republic. Finally, in January 41 BC, a group of guards attacked him in the tunnels after a sports event. With more than 30 stab wounds in the body, his body was separated into pieces. Some of it was food for dogs and the rest was buried somewhere. His wife and his daughter were also killed. So the Senate planned a reconstruction and so on. Finally, I would like to tell you something else. Believe me guys, the whole thing was just one small part of his 4-year rule.